right, we back in the man cave. What's cracking, fellas? Another
Nothing
day,
much, bro.
another day, another dollar.
Another
Know what I
coffee.
mean, another coffee. That shit. Everything's getting expensive, man. Everything's getting expensive. I
Indeed,
feel
better
like,
send us a check, bro.
yeah, I know. Oh my god, yo. I feel like every week we were like talking about how much shit costs, yo.
Yo,
And
that's
like
crazy.
on my feeds, it's very interesting. Like the two, there's like different things coming up, and all right. I'm gonna run these two videos back to back. I want to see what y'all think. I'm gonna see what y'all think.
24 because I just want to talk about it for a second. I'm currently living at home as a 27-year-old because my last landlord died and then I had to come home. It was a whole thing. Anyway, my friends and I are currently looking at apartments and oh my God, is this shit a joke? Would like to preface this by saying I live in Massachusetts, so this is what it's like here, okay? First of all, you're quite literally not getting a halfway decent 2-bedroom apartment for less than $2,500 a month. Which fine, whatever, but like the rent's not even the worst part because it's like, oh, you wanted in-unit laundry? Oh, that's cute. That'll be your firstborn child. Oh, you wanted a parking space to come with that apartment?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? Oh, you thought a single utility was gonna be included in that rent price?
Hell no.
Crazy. Oh, so you want to apply for this apartment? Great. You're gonna have to put down first month of rent, last month of rent, security, broker's fee, an application fee, a pet fee, and a breathing fee.
That's on
Yo,
deposit.
that is 100% accurate as fuck.
You want a laundry? Or here's a coin operating machine that we're gonna put in the basement for you guys.
Yeah, it's tough. But let me run this next video by you, and then we'll take it all in. We'll try to digest. it, and just keep an open mind real quick. I don't do fit. It was a really short video. It's a really short video.
That's all she needs to say. Wow.
So what I'm seeing, right? Because for a long time, women were like, I can do me. I can do everything by myself. I can pay all these bills. Know what I mean? But now it's like there's a movement. I don't do 50-50. I was like, what are you talking about? You don't do 50. The whole time you lead with this whole idea. I am independent. I pay for my own bills. But when you get into the relationship, the thing you were leading with is now irrelevant. It's like, oh yeah, I pay my own bills, but when we're in this relationship, I'm not paying all the bills.
Shit.
And everything is so fucking expensive. I think what's happening is because things are getting so expensive, women, in my point of view, they're reverting back to this traditional mindset. They're just like, oh no, I'm not paying these crazy ass prices. These crazy ass prices are insane.
But with
I
that
think
being
what's
said,
happening also.
go ahead.
No,
I mean, I was gonna say with the comment of you that you just mentioned, saying that they're reverting back to this traditional mindset. That's all great, and that's all good and gravy. But are they actually being traditional women? Having a traditional mindset when it comes to just paying bills is different than actually being a traditional woman. What is she providing for you, right? That she is not able, or that she is okay with not paying 50%. What is she doing for her job? Is she an OnlyFans girl? Is she, does she belong to the streets? Things like that. If she does all of that shit and then it's still expected not to pay anything, then you can't say that she's reverting back to traditional ways,
right?
If in fact she's not a traditional woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think, Baez?
My thing is, I think they're reverting back to the traditional ways because they're done with the lies. The whole women's movement was be independent, being there and that, and then what they're realizing is once they reach that certain point, when they want to have a family, it's hard because they're so independent, and men don't. And I would say all men want like a submissive woman, but men want a traditional woman that would be their support. And sometimes you have these females that are so independent they can care less. If you get what I mean.
Right. No, I agree with that. But again, what are they doing besides not wanting to go 50-50 that makes them traditional besides just on that aspect alone? What are they doing for their careers? Because I'm telling you right now, the OF girls, they are popping up like crazy.
Yeah.
It's the being an OF influencer right
Forget
now,
it, bro.
it's not even a disgrace to them. They see this shit as a status.
Bro,
Like they literally put this shit on their bio and they are proud. Meaning that more and more girls are being OnlyFans girls, and yet they still want to be traditional girls. And
Well,
they see
Jose
this
put a
as
video.
nothing more than an actual job, which is crazy
Jose-
because it's prostitution. This is crazy.
It's sex work.
Wait.
It's sex work.
Well,
bro.
they put a video once. Remember that Catholic school didn't want to let the mother go in because she had an oil sign on her car?
The what?
What?
Bro,
It was
sweaty
this
for
lady.
you.
What's
going on, bro?
There was this lady
Oh.
who had a big ass OF sign on her car. And she was
Right.
dropping off her kids, and they told her you're not allowed to come back.
No,
I
that's
see that.
so.
The
So
car.
I saw that. That was a post on World Star, and it was actually it's an advertisement ploy. It's
Oh, okay.
it's basically, you know, it's trying to trick people into going into someone's OF by stating something like outrageous. Oh, this woman has an OF and she posted it on her car. Go see it, so that way you can see for yourself what she. Yeah, it's all an advertisement. Yeah. But
My thing with the OF, right? OF is like Patreon. Unfortunately, OF became like Tumblr, where it became like a porn site when it didn't want to become a porn site. It wanted to be more like Patreon.
yeah,
That's how Twitter is right now. You go
Yeah,
in there,
Twitter
it's
is
like,
too.
Jesus Christ, it's like free porn in there. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like
But whatever. I mean, I digress. Going back to the original point, if they don't want to go 50-50, then they need to prove or show that they can be traditional women.
yeah.
It's just that simple. You can't ask for not 50-50 and be doing OnlyFans and only be my money is my money and your money is our money. That doesn't work.
no.
And I do want to
both
say
ways.
one
It has
thing.
to be both ways.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing. Like before, you know, people start, you know, coming at us like, oh, you're trying to get women to pay 50-50. Like
Yeah.
all of our wives, like all of our women, like none of the finances fall on them. Like
Correct.
my wife, she doesn't know a single. If you were to ask her what bills, she doesn't pay anything.
My
I mean,
wife
I think
works from home. She
Yeah.
literally heard, you know, she's a housewife.
So we understand what, you know, we take on that responsibility, right? We're traditional men that we actually, you know, we actually put up like more than 80-90% of the finances at home, right? Of course, our women can choose to work and everything, but at the end of the day, everything falls on us. That being said, it's because everything is so expensive, and because women have trained men, you've trained men to understand that you're independent and that you make your own money. So why is it that when you do enter a relationship, all of a sudden that money disappears, that independence disappears? Oh, no, I was leading with that, but I'm not actually going to be independent in the relationship. I'm going to depend on you to spend all your money to pay for all the bills. And then as soon as a woman finds out that a man respects you and wants to do 50-50, she doesn't want you. So it's kind of like you rather pay 100% of the bills by yourself than 50% of them in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have a man willing to pay half the bills, but you're like, no, I'd rather pay all the bills by myself than go into a relationship and pay half of it. And then they're like, oh, that's a roommate.
You know what sucks? Let's say in the beginning you're paying all the bills and shit, and you go through hard times.
Yeah.
More than likely, that person that says, "Oh, I'm not going to pay more than half the bills," they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Unless you met them like that, then they're pretty much not gonna stick around. And that's
for me a little bit
I
different.
mean, now, we did a video on this thing. It said if you make between 70 and 75,000 a year, so they wouldn't even date you anymore. That's crazy to me. Like that is.
I met my wife. I was broke when I met my wife.
This is what you
nothing
call
to give.
this is what you call toxic culture. That's
clear up your throat, bro.
Yeah, I have to make sure that I say this correctly. It is toxic culture, bro. It is all over Instagram, all over social media. It's just like they living in this fucking fantasy world that if you're not driving a Lambo, you don't have a mansion, and you're not out there getting Versace and Gucci every single day, then you're not living life. Like, bro, we got bills to fucking pay. This is crazy to me. We got kids to feed. We got mouth to feed. We got almost all this responsibility falling on us, and yet they don't want to go 50-50. And on top of not going 50-50, they also want you to pay for it, for all the bills, all that stuff, along with all vacations.
Yeah.
But if they get any money on their own, that's their money. It's not our money, it's their money.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It depends on the person. So like,
no, yeah, of course. That's the modern age.
It depends. Like, let's say they don't bring in a traditional paycheck.
What's a traditional paycheck?
You mean a consistent
a W-2. Let's say they don't do a W-2. But they do. Let's say in my house, my wife does all the property management. I don't deal with tenants because I have a regular job. I can't deal with people. She deals with contractors. She deals with all the property management aside of everything.
Yeah.
And she manages she takes care of my kid and obviously and all the other stuff that you do as a housewife. But she still brings in income because she does the property manager.
That's different. She's working, bro. That's different.
She's working.
Yeah, she's pulling her weight.
But you have people, you have relationships where, and it happens on both sides, which is sad. Where like let's say the woman's side, that they won't even clean. They just want to sit around all day on the internet while you work and you get home and you have to make your own dinner because they don't want to do shit.
Yeah, at that point you gotta just call it quits, bro. You have to nip it early.
Yeah. And then you have the other side. It also nowadays happens with the other side. You have the female that's going to her job, making the income. The guy can't make shit, and the guy is not even doing the housework either.
The guy's living the dream, bro. Living the dream.
it's all I think for me it's all depending on how these people are raised, right? Like we need to, we have daughters, we have to raise them to understand that the thing is we cannot raise our kids for a world that they're not going to live in. You know what I'm saying? Because the world is changing so quickly. Hundreds of years ago, you could train the world. You could train your child for the world you lived in, because more or less the world didn't really change that much back then. So you could instill all these sort of concepts into your child. Now it changes so much, like back in my day, talking to a girl or treating a girl was so different than what it is right now. I can't train my son in certain areas. In regards to money and finances, things are getting so expensive. Eventually, men and women have to concede and work together in order to overcome all these financial burdens, right? Because of course, women want a man who's going to financially take care of them. But you cannot, like you said, Carlos, you can't want a traditional man and not be a traditional woman.
Correct.
What does it mean to be a traditional woman? It sucks. It sucks because everybody wants to fuck. Everybody wants to have sex. Know what I mean? Traditionally, women were virgins. Know what I mean? Traditionally, they weren't having kids out of wedlock. I know that's just like, he's talking bullshit. You fit into this category. I'm sorry, but that's not traditional, right? That just wasn't traditional. But it's okay.
It's the housewife aspect of it.
Yeah, it's okay because humans evolve, cultures evolve. It's okay to have a child. I don't think marriage is end all be all. You can form families, you can do things change. The environment changes, humans change, and that's okay. But we also have to accept that change and change ourselves, right? So, there's a lot of women that still want that dude that's going to pay 100% of everything. But you also have to understand that that's getting so difficult with the amount of rent, with how much just grocery costs, the cost of living is going up, that realistically, you're probably not going to find that dude that's going to be able to take care of everything. You will have to financially help out. And because of this, the men will also need to change themselves and be like, look, because you have to help financially, right? Outside of what traditional women used to do, then I will help in the household too. I'm going to cook. I'm going to clean as well. Men and women got to meet halfway,
They do.
Yeah, so yeah, and for the most part we do, right? I don't really know how to cook, but I've been
You know
trying to learn.
what I mean?
I've been trying to
Yeah.
learn how to cook because I like to eat. Know what I mean, but if there was ever a time where like my wife has to financially put up like 50%, I want to demonstrate to her that I can also contribute in other ways. To make the whole family dynamic balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I, I was seeing this episode, and I forgot to get the clip, but basically, there was a girl that she wouldn't date anybody that can't upkeep with her expenses. Basically,
Mm,
she says that she needs a set amount between $5,000 to $10,000 a month to be spent on her in order for her to be in that relationship. Meaning that's what she cost a month, not including the bills on the house, not including the groceries, nothing. Just on her, she expects between $5,000 to $10,000 to be spent on her. And then they ask her the question, okay, great. If that was the case, what are you bringing to the table? And then she says, well, I can cook, the generation. She's like, I can cook, I'm pretty and all this stuff, but I'm also very business minded. I can help him start his own business and do all this other stuff. And then the guy was like, wait a minute. You want him to spend between $5,000 to $10,000 just on you. You don't think he has his own business already to be spending that kind of
yeah,
money? What are you talking about? And then she says, well, no, I'm also very hardworking in the event that I can start a marketing company and then market his business, and he can help me start that. And then he's like, wait a minute, you want all of these things and you still want him to pay for your marketing business? What the fuck are you talking about?
My
And put her
question
on the
is,
spot. She's expecting so much and she's offering so little,
is
nothing
she
but her
even
looks.
making? Is she even making the $5,000 to $10,000 she's making right now? That she's saying that
OnlyFans.
she needs.
Yes. And this is the problem. These girls do OnlyFans and they fucking rack up. And when
But
they're
now,
racking up, their money is only their money. That's the
but
issue.
but my issue with the OnlyFans subject is that you have these young ladies, these young girls that they hit 18 and they're expecting, oh, I'm gonna do an OnlyFans and bake. It's a very small minority of OnlyFans
Yeah, but what I'm
girls that
telling you
actually
is,
make that money. So
I
what
agree.
happens is you're destroying a
Yeah,
generation thinking, no, fuck going to college. I'm just gonna do an OnlyFans because I can sell my body online on pictures and I'm gonna make bank. It's a very, very small minority of people who can actually make that kind of money on OnlyFans. For the
correct.
most part, they're
But I
making
will say
shit.
this. Yeah, but I agree with you. But I will say this though, it is growing because all you need is a social media presence and put that link in your bio, and you're good to go. Which is
yeah,
the sad
It
part.
is growing, but what's growing right now on the OnlyFans side is the OnlyFans side being hacked and leaked. I don't think there's that many people. Like I say, it has to be a small minority are making the 5 to 10K a month.
Man, you got.
Imagine
I
if
got.
there's 1,000 people
Honestly,
making five to
honestly,
10K.
we're gonna get the numbers, and I know what you're saying. I agree with you 100%. I'm not saying it's nowhere near 10%, 15% making this kind of money. It's a very small
Mm.
amount,
it's
but the
very
problem is very small. But the problem is it's growing. Therefore, it seems more
Yeah,
attainable, which is your point.
yeah. It,
and
it
it's
fills up
fucked
your
up.
feed. It
Correct.
fills up your IG feed, and it gives you the illusion that a lot
Illusion.
of people are making this money and having this lifestyle, but that is not the case.
Yeah.
The
It's
vast
a
majority
small
of people,
minority.
are broke. They're getting this paycheck. What was it? There was a study that 73% of people who make six figures a year are living paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck.
73%.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's fucking crazy. But as a father of a son, as far as like teaching him what kind of girls to look out for, if he meets a girl and she's already off the bat, if you can't afford my lifestyle and pay, get the
Yeah.
fuck. She's all no. That is not what you want, son. You don't want a girl thinking that you have to pay all the bills, right? Because you don't live in that world anymore. You don't live in my grandfather's world. All right. 15 years from now, I'm telling you, nobody's gonna be able to afford shit by themselves unless you're making like 250,000 a year. So what my suggestion would be, look for the girl that is more than willing to work with you and pay 50-50. And then if you can get to a place where you can financially support her, then gift her and then do that for her. But don't don't get with a girl that's right off the rip. I don't do 50-50. I need you to take care of everything. No. You don't want that headache. And then as far as my daughter, I would definitely train my daughter, be like, look, you're not going to grow up in the world with an abundance of dudes that's going to take care of you. Those dudes are going to be so rare. It's fine to take care of yourself, but don't lead with independence. Lead with cooperation. You want to be able to be like, look, I can help my mate. I know in 15 years, it's not going to be the same world that my grandparents lived in. So, women are going to have to accept the fact that being a traditional woman is not a realistic thing that you can do the more we could progress in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. And it's tough. It's tough to let them know, like, listen, I don't know how to end that.
I think it's the way I see it.
I mean, you have a daughter.
I mean, but there's nothing more I could add to that that's pretty accurate. I mean, I really can't modify that statement. That's what I'm trying to say.
You have to show these kids, boy or girl, that is a teamwork. It's teamwork. You have to work as a team. If you're pulling everything for me, not for you, or vice versa, shit's not going to work out. It is a team effort, a relationship. It's teamwork. Yeah. And you have to put in your part. Let's say you can't put in your part financially, put your part doing housework. Figure it out on both sides, but at least try to put in your part.
You got to cut the source. You got to let them know from the very beginning of ages, listen, social media is a fucking illusion. It's a fucking scam. You can't fall into that. Because honestly, that's what catapults this mentality. Is that right there? Yeah. If it wasn't social media, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
No.
Okay, how many people can afford let's say the 5,000? Go on the low one. How many you can afford to pay the 5,000 like that? Just to throw away $5,000 per month
on a girl, right?
On this population, without covering expenses, just $5,000 a month.
No, you can't. You can't. If you do, then you're probably doing it with multiple women. To be honest, I mean,
the average income here was like $70,000. So you're making $70,000 a year.
In Massachusetts.
In general.
No.
In general,
the average salary in the United States is hovering a little above 50,000.
Yeah.
Even worse. So at 50K, you think. Then you're gonna be fucking. Come on, and that's the average.
That's 50K before taxes. So
there you go, guys.
Oh my god,
let that sink in, guys.
Before taxes.
That's before taxes.
This is why I mean you have to move to a state that doesn't do estate tax because it saves a lot of money, bro. It does.
Yeah. Well, that's a discussion.
I digress. Still,
that's a discussion for another day. But let us know what y'all think. I mean, with the rising costs of living expenses, is it really realistic for at least a woman to expect a man to not go 50-50, especially after you've been training us for literally decades that you guys are independent and that you guys pay for your own shit? Men are like dogs. We're loyal, but we get trained. You tell us you're independent and you make your own money. That tells us that you can pay for some stuff. It doesn't make sense that you've been doing this for decades and all of a sudden you're like, but I don't do 50-50. I was like, then why you even floss it? Why you even tell us you're independent and you make your own money if you're not even going to help us with anything? It's like I don't know, oxymoron or a catch-22. It's just like, it's so stupid. It's a contradiction. So let us know what y'all think. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. We'll see y'all on the next episode. This is the Man Cave. We out.